Hey everyone, it starts with Plastic Free. We're back for another episode. Corey, how are you going?
I'm good, thank you. I
Thank you.
quite enjoy this topic.
Me too, it's a cool one. And
Yeah.
this is some of the cool stuff that's being made out of recycled plastics, because we talk about how to avoid plastics, and there's a big recycling industry in this country and globally now. But I thought it'd be a great opportunity to just give a bit of a shout out on some of the cool stuff in the building space that's made out of recycled plastics. And so when we are doing DIY projects around the home, or building or renovating, whatever it might be, how we can look towards some of these items.
Yeah.
Because there's a great opportunity, and I saw a couple of YouTube videos of little communities in Africa that were getting soft plastics and what they were doing with them to create building materials. And then I thought, okay, let's research what's going on in Australia. And in our own backyard, there's some really cool companies that are making things now, like tiles. And roof tiles is another one. I've seen it down the beach and down your way, where you go along the pathways, instead of these timber deckings and timber fence posts, they've got this hard recycled plastics.
And the nice walkways, yeah.
And so the benefit of those is no moisture rot,
Yep.
no termites, no chemicals to treat the timber to become white ant proof, etc. But more importantly, they last longer. And so we've been critical of the plastic industry, but here we've got an opportunity that we could actually have things that last a lot longer.
I think as a business, considering this as well, there's some great government incentives, to my knowledge, out there of setting up manufacturing of recycled plastics. Yeah, which is great. To take plastics out of the loop.
Oh, definitely, and that's the whole thing. If you can use both the soft plastics and the hard plastics and create some recycled materials that are going to be more permanent. Like, I know there's things like you've mentioned before, there's food wraps now that are being made out of recycled material.
Yes.
But then what happens to that food wrap after?
Yeah.
But if I think of a fence post or even a frame, bricks, plastic bricks that are being used, I think of all the landscaping applications where it stops a lot of the dampness issues. And lightweight, how do you fix them together? But there's a lot of innovative ways that you could do that. And termites treatments in this country and termite breakdown is really expensive. Like, could insurance companies and all these others sort of get on the incentivised side of it and go, okay, do we incentivise products that are made that are going to be a lower maintenance or have a longer life in that? A couple shout outs to some of these cool companies like Smart Gravels that are out there, roof tiles, but Replays is a company that we've seen the link there to their website now, where they've got some really cool composite products that are out there, like the ones we spoke about with decking and fence posts. Another one was APR Composites. These are all Australian companies. These guys are making railway sleepers and these bigger blocks that are used in more industrial and longer term stuff. Now, this is a really smart idea, retaining walls. Some of those retaining walls that have traditionally been with concrete blocks and bricks, you could be using plastic blocks and bricks made of recycled materials, not affected by dampness, and probably last a lot longer, and maybe even lighter and safer to use. Roof tiles is an interesting one. We talk about microplastics, but if they don't break down and they don't emit any of those particles, then they might have a longer life than having to go and change your roof tiles that don't crack. That's the strength side of it. Is something that could be considered.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're not seeing I'm not seeing that coming into common use at all.
No, and it's a quiet one. There's got to be more to it. There's, we've got so much plastic being recycled, and it doesn't look like it's being cut, even though we are trying to reduce it. But then, what can we use that actually stops that single-use piece, that it could become a more permanent material?
Yeah.
Because we know a lot of these items last for hundreds of years, and could they be there? Could it actually be an opportunity to innovate the building industry in many ways? This company, Kandui, was one that caught my eye. They've been working with the University of New South Wales, but tiles. And tiles, I know ceramic tiles, it's a major imported item into Australia. There are not a lot of tile manufacturers in Australia. But if we could use plastics in tiling, that could really change the industry in terms of what absorbs moisture, thermal movement, all sorts of things. And the fact is, there's a cool one that you'll see now with terrazzo, looking like a terrazzo tile, which are really expensive, and that's made out of plastics, and there's all sorts of colour schemes, etc. you could do with it. So some great opportunities there for industry. If you've got other companies out there that you know of that are doing some cool stuff with building materials made out of recycled plastics, join into the conversation here. Shout out a comment below, share it along. Could there be some cool indoor furniture that we could start to use that is made of plastic, recycled plastic? And I think that might be a trend with a lot of people that want to show that they're actually living a sustainable life. That, you know, how many of these recycled materials do they have around the place?
Yeah.
Furniture,
Well,
chairs, benches.
China's not taking our plastic anymore, which is good. So we're going to deal with it ourselves.
And every problem leaves an opportunity, and this one is a
Exactly.
real opportunity. So any of you guys out there that are innovators and want to get into using recycled materials or recycled plastics into building materials, share them along, let us know. We'll give you a bit of a shout out. Don't forget to subscribe. And it starts with plastic free. If you can make something plastic into something that's permanent, that can be used, then we want to know about it.